Hey guys, Mitch and Toddy here on the U Spray podcast. We are back. Toddy, how are you, my guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, mate, no complaints. Sun's been out in Newcastle and most of New South Wales recently, which has been a big change because it feels like we've been underwater for weeks. And I know that a lot of people aren't very happy when it's raining all the time, especially painters when they're trying to get some externals done and they're running out of inside work. So hopefully we get a little bit of run of sun and leading into spring would be greatly appreciated by all, I think. What's news up Brisbane way? Weather been all right?
Yeah, I've had some awesome weather in the last few weeks. The annoying thing is we keep getting these like forecasts where it's like 10 days of rain, 80-90% chance of rain every day. It's just like clear skies. Like the best weather you could ask for. So like, I can imagine there'd be businesses that would schedule not to be doing external work those weeks because it's going to rain, but
Yeah.
I think it's stitched up because it's just been perfect weather.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Well, we'd be expecting repairs and servicing to start taking off in September when people start dusting off their spray guns and using them again. But yeah, it's good that you guys have been getting some good weather up there. I know everyone's battling with that at the moment. Like even I've heard of a few guys that run the gauntlet, especially with some colorbond roofs. Putting down the primers when it's cold, surface is a bit dewy, getting bubbling, putting on the second coat too quick and not drying and drying patchy. Yeah, so yeah, it's a bit tough out there at the moment, but it's hopefully we're out of the worst of it. All right, first and foremost, some exciting stuff to share with you. As you can see, front and center, the new Spray Gun Club hoses. See? This is a 30-meter hose. You can see how sexy that looks. If you've got a blue or black hose, it's time to upgrade because this is where it's at. You want to look your best when you're spraying. And let's face it, people want to see you spraying with this. So if you need a new hose or you want to upgrade, we only have limited stock available of these at the moment. So reach out to Toddy or myself, or you can go to the website. But yeah, we have these in 30 meters and 15 meters. So yeah, great quality hoses, good prices, and obviously in our signature Madness color. That's not the only thing we've got. Toddy, what do you got for us down there?
We got a new Ergonomic Two Finger Hand-piece. It's got a little mantis etched in the front. Or a bit lighter trigger than the last ones that we had, but we still keep it a bit heavy because we find that people that use a bit of a lighter trigger are more prone to spinning because it's nice and easy to pull. So this will assist with that a little bit. But one of the things I love about this is this, because I know a lot of guys will like this. Now we're not encouraging people to take this off, but now when you go to open up your filter, you don't cut your hand on the trigger. Have you experienced that before? I'm not saying you should take this off for easier maneuverability, but I'm sure Tony will. But yeah, that's handy because I don't know if you've had this before, but you always cut your knuckles on the
it's a bit of a pain in the ass.
A little bit.
Yeah.
So that's handy, and that will prevent you from getting cut up. So
yeah. No, that's awesome. Once again, we've got limited stock of those at the moment, but they will be available full-time shortly. But as you can see, finish on there's awesome. Performance is great. So, yeah, if you're keen to get your hands on one of those. Oh, Toddy, you didn't show the best pin about the handbags. Can you put it up to the camera there to show what's on there?
Do you think that's for the show?
Yeah, it'll show. So, yeah, you'll see that on the close-up camera, but it has the Spraying Madness engraved on it, which looks pretty cool. So super stoked about that. Reach out to us if you're interested. And what's in the box, you say? All right. Tony?
You can do the honors.
Hey?
You can do the honors. It's
All right. What's in the box? Oh, it's a puppy. No, it's not a puppy. Okay, what do we get? An extension. Okay, that's a good start. Right? Some foam. Now, also, this could be used as a tray at home for the kids. You've got 4 little compartments there. You know, your rice, veggies, you know, you can save on that. You've also got a bit of a chiller there where you can put some ice and some beers in. So, yeah, we've thought of everything when it comes to this machine. So, what else we got? All right, stand up for this one. All right. We ready? Oh, introducing our new PIY paint machine. What does PIY stand for? Paint it yourself. How about that? Anyway, so as you can see, it's an awesome, lightweight gun. We're really proud of this one. Great performing machine. I'll let Toddy dive into a few cool bits and bobs around the specs around it. Toddy, take us away.
so the main, I guess, upgrade to this versus most call it entry level or project DIY style machines is this, like most trade machines out there, is actually a double displacement. So the benefits of double displacement pumps, way more efficient. So the pump's going to last heaps longer. And because it's a double displacement pump, it's got the ability to draw out much thicker products. And so, you know, you're going to be able to spray primers, thick external coats, sealers, undercoats, sealing flats, all that sort of stuff that's really those smaller machines tend to struggle with. But basically, an awesome little backup machine. It's super lightweight. It's like 12 kilos. Perfect for those, you know, those small jobs you don't want to bust a big machine out of. And also, I know a lot of guys are always looking for a machine dedicated for enamel, so they're not contaminating the machine when they have the odd enamel job. So perfect for that. Perfect machine to get for an apprentice to start on, so they don't mess up your big machines. But performed extremely well. We've done heaps of testing on this. Yeah, really awesome. So,
But bro, only being that weight too, like I can see, and it comes with a 10-meter hose, so a bit smaller hose. Like, oh, who's the hose? What do you know? So 10-meter hose with it as well. So for those little jobs, like, you know, if you're doing a fence, you know, like, yeah, picket fences, colorbond fences, garage doors, those kind of things, inside like cornices, like it's a great little machine to get out, lightweight, cleans out really easy and quickly. I know a lot of guys, you know, love using other handheld machines, but you know, this is much more powerful than that, and you can just drop that into a 4-litre bucket, 10-litre bucket, whatever you're using, and get that job done quickly. So it's a very versatile machine. If you need to spray out a whole house, you know, it's going to do that as well. So that's pretty cool about it. Now, you can't see, this is what else comes with it as well, but you can't see it at the moment because we just got it out of the box, but it does actually come with a handle that sits on the front there. So it's so easy to carry around, super convenient, doesn't take up much space in your truck, comes with a tip as well. Got a couple of spanners here and the manual, of course. That's important. And also a handpiece, which helps. This actual handpiece is really cool. It's super lightweight and it just feels good. Yeah, on the trigger. 4-finger trigger. But you guys out there that love the 2 fingers, you can actually use 2 fingers with it as well, believe it or not. So yeah, I told you when we thought of everything, we thought of everything. So that's a cool little handpiece that comes with it. We've had them in store at the moment, but you will also see them out at our distributors. So reach out to one of our distributors if you're keen on one, or reach out to us directly and we can sort you out. But you need to have one of these bad boys in your arsenal for sure. So that's something cool that we have going on at the moment. Oh, Look at that thing. How good. We'll just leave it up there for the time being so so he feels a part of the conversation. Guys, just wanted to mention too, if you're a DIY that follows us, we do have a dedicated page on Facebook for DIY spray enthusiasts. So look that up, and we can add you into there. Also, we have our Airless Spray Community Australia, which is a private group. So if you guys are keen to jump into there, we can add you. We just, talk and shop with some other like-minded people that are just discussing all different types of airless spray from machines, tips and tricks. And yeah, it's really good, the conversations that we're having in there. So if you want to find out more about that, that's the Airless Spray Community Australia. There we go. We got it out. Airless Spray Community Australia. Add yourself in there. So something we've been talking about in that at the moment that I wanted to touch on is thinning paint. Now, everyone's got a different take on thinning paint, and we just ran a poll in there, and it's funny, you and I actually clicked on the same thing. But when it comes to thinning paint, look, I've never thin paint at all. That's probably a lie. I mean, sometimes back in the day, sealings and primers a little bit, but I didn't do it for long. I just always didn't feel the need to do it. The guns that I was using kept up well. It didn't really affect the spraying or anything like that. And I was always had this sort of like feeling that it was messing with the integrity of the paint. And I know people laugh at that because it says, you can thin your paint and stuff like that. But that's just me personally. Like, one of the things that we always say is, you do you know what I mean? Whatever suits you. There's so many different ways you can do things, but it's your brand and your warranty behind it. So whatever you feel comfortable and suits you, that's what you need to do. But for me, never really thinned any paints. The only time I would thin paints is with 2-packs and oil-based enamels. I would always thin them out for spraying. And it was interesting in the actual poll. There's a lot of guys that actually do thin all their paint out. So I suppose there's different reasons for that. It's one, to get more out of your paint; two, so it sprays better; or three, just because it says it on the tin. So yeah, anyway, that's my sort of take on it. What about you, Toddy, when it comes to thin and paint? How do you feel about it?
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same. Like I've always been a believer, because when you're working spray or working paint, they always blame each other for why it's not performing properly. It's the machine's fault. It's the paint's fault.
Yeah.
And so it's the applicator's fault. So for me, it's like I always was not really keen on thinning most paints because it just gives someone an excuse to blame me.
Yeah.
Too little, too much, whatever. So I've always been a believer that if you can, you should spray it neat, like same as you. Sometimes in the wintertime when it's really cold, like your ceiling flat gets really thick, and sometimes it causes your machine up to be unable to drop quick enough. So in that case, maybe you thin it with a bit of warm water or something. My preference would be to just stick it out the side and let it warm up. That's better. But yeah, same thing with enamels. There's obviously a lot of industrial products that require it to get them to spray properly. So in that case, definitely you'd want to do it. Especially with oil-based enamel. A lot of guys don't thin it, or they thin it with terps, which doesn't work. It's, they have a bad experience with that. Me personally, I tend to use that spray finish, upright digger spray thinners, which is really good for that sort of stuff.
The goat.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm the type that just, if it's good, it should spray, unless every product in that same category needs it. It's like if I can buy one water-based enamel that requires it and then one that doesn't, I prefer just to not have to rely on my efforts to make your paint better.
Well, bro, an old painter said to me once, he's like, paint's like your whiskey, right? If you have to mix something with your whiskey, it's a shit whiskey. So you have to mix something with your paint. And, that was his take on it, which I thought it was funny. But hey, it's right about whiskey. Like, whiskey over ice mixed with nothing, really, really good. But yeah, guys, love to hear your thoughts on that. So this will be on social media and on YouTube. So leave your comments. Yeah, want to hear what you think about that and what your take is. What about straining your paint, bro? Why should you strain your paint, do you think? Because I mean, you've got 3 filters in the gun. You've got a suction filter, you've got a manifold filter, and you got your handpiece filter. So you got 3 strainers. So why should I need to strain my paint still?
So basically, I understand where the painters are coming from, and they say it's brand new jumper paint. I shouldn't have to thin it. I agree, but the reality is, I'll tell you a story. So when I was working for Wagner, I had the opportunity to sell someone a machine who's typically a great user. They said, "Look, I'm happy to give it a crack, but I'm not familiar with it. So if you'll come out and help me set it up and show me how to use it, then I'll take it." So right on, sweet. So I took him aside, set it all up. I won't mention the brand, but we sprayed out a little unit, and then was gonna run through the process of cleaning it. And as we were starting to clean it, prime spray note was blocked, which is usually an indicator that there's something in there. So I was like, that's weird. It's a brand new machine. So I opened it up. It's like someone took a handful of sand and just dropped it in. And I was like, that's weird. So I rang the particular manufacturer, and I was like, to one of the guys I knew pretty well, I was like, "Man, what's going on here?" He goes, I must not have cleaned his machine out properly, as they do." I was like, "Bro, I was there the whole time. I brought it here. I set it out, brand new drum. It's definitely not the machine." "Oh, it must be last batch paint." And I was like, "What do you mean last batch paint?" And he goes, "Well, if you can imagine, they make this big batch in a big silo or big container, and then as they, fill up buckets, the last little bit, all the sediments at the bottom."
The dregs.
Yeah. And he goes, "So that's the last batch, and it goes in the last batch paint." And I was like, "Do you actually send that out?" And they're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Wow, okay, that's wild to me."
Sandpaper and paint in one.
Oh, bro. And that was like 10 years ago or something. So what I learned from that is, again, it doesn't really matter. No one cares. So it's again, it's on us to, if tip blockages are a problem, straighten your paint, because there's a chance you're probably going to get it, because the manufacturers skipped a step there and they're okay with that.
Yeah.
And so I remember when I was at Sherwin-Williams years ago, we used to, anybody that we knew was doing a spray job, we'd supply them with strainers, so that was ages ago, 20 years ago now.
Mm.
And they even back then, they realized that was potentially an issue. And so everyone was supplied with strainers. So definitely think that's it's a reality still, it is, unfortunately. And most of this paint's been sitting in a warehouse for who knows how long. And surely skins up and stuff gets in there as well. So
yeah. So ultimately, you should straighten your paint.
100%. And to go with what you were saying about filters is, guys, my machine's got filters in it, but it's like, if you look at this is the suction filter. Like, anything that can go through that will block your tip. So it's like, they're there as to stop anything foreign from getting in there. They're not really a filter. They're not really. They're a filter, and they're not a strainer.
Yeah.
So it's like, you're not really supposed to be using that to strain your paint. So it's
Yeah. Well, some things you see too, like it's common there from time to time when some of the paint is just full of skin, right? And you see it like on some machines, when you don't actually strain it, you pull the machine out at the end of the day and there's a huge skin sitting on the filter. So making your machine work a lot harder because there's a skin at the bottom of it not allowing paint through. So
we should actually get a bucket of premium paint from each brand and just put a strainer in, and we'll open it and pour it through and just see which one collects the most amount of shit.
Oh, wow. All right. There we go. The strainer challenge.
Oh, man.
All right. We won't have to do that.
I don't know.
There's something there. Yeah. 100%. Wow. There might be some paint manufacturing. No, please no. Awesome. All right, guys. Well, that brings us to the end of another episode. Thanks for your time, and till next time, keep on spraying.